Good morning and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. Today I wanted to talk about being prepared for when the power goes out. I've got a couple of friends up in Connecticut. They've been without power for a few days, not sure when they're going to have power back. And when you talk about power, for me the first thing I think about is you're not going to have any light. But obviously that's not the only thing. Hello, Whiskers. If you look at all the things in your house that run by electricity, you're not going to have a refrigerator, you're not going to have hot water, you're not going to have a heat. Well, you might if you have gas, if your gas still works, but you may not have a stove, your microwave's not going to work, your computer's not, going to work, you're not going to be able to plug in your phone to charge it. There's just all kinds of things. But the main thing I want to talk about today is light, just because that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And so, you should have a flashlight. You should have a couple of flashlights. You should have extra batteries for your flashlight. I normally use rechargeable batteries, but I have bought some disposable batteries to make sure that I've got batteries if there's not power, because you can have a million flashlights, and I've got quite a few, and they're not going to do you any good if you don't have batteries for them, right? So if you have a flashlight, and you can get them in different sizes, different strengths, and you want to look at how many batteries they take and what size batteries. You might want to have a couple big flashlights and a couple small flashlights. And you want to check them now and again to make sure they've got batteries in there that works. This one does. Because if the lights go out and you go to get your flashlight and it doesn't turn on because the batteries are dead, that's no good. And make sure you know where your extra batteries are, because I've had that problem before. Like, I know I've bought a million batteries, but I don't remember where I put them. And especially if my flashlight dies in the middle of a storm when there's no power and I need to go find batteries in the dark because my flashlight doesn't work and I don't know where I put them, that's a big problem. So at the flashlight, you point it, it lights up whatever you're pointing it at. You can also get, like, this is a camping lantern. It's not that expensive. Let me move this back so you can see it better. And it's really bright, and you can, like, set it, next to you, and then you got your hands free, yes, Whiskers, to do whatever, and it puts off a lot of light, if you're in the bathroom taking care of business or whatever, and you don't want to hold a flashlight, you can set this on the counter, set it on the kitchen counter while you're fixing something to eat, whatever. This one, it has different, it's got a really bright and a less bright. I thought about doing this video in the dark so you could see the lights better, but then I decided all you would see is the lights and you wouldn't see me. So another thing I got are these headlamps, which look a little geeky, but if you're doing something when you need your hands free, these are awesome. Wherever you're looking, that's where the light shines. They don't want to see your butt, Whiskers. And you have your hands free. I first bought one where I used to live. I used to do a lot of dumpster diving. And before you go, ooh, I should do a video on dumpster diving sometimes. You can find amazing things perfectly good thrown away in the dumpster. Like, they will throw away, I don't know, produce. Say like a whole, thick black trash bag full of nothing but apples and oranges. So there's nothing else on the fruit. All that's in that bag is apples and oranges. And like, if you have, how you get apples or oranges in like a 3-pound bag or a 5-pound bag, and if one of them starts to go bad, the grocery store will throw away that whole bag, even though all the other ones in the bag are still good. I once got a bunch of bananas. There were several cardboard boxes, like on top of the dumpster, full of bananas, and they were slightly overripe, like you would make banana bread out of them. They weren't actually down in the trash. Nothing was touching them except other bananas in the cardboard box they were in. I don't know what. I mean, literally, I might have had 100 pounds of bananas. I mean, I had so many bananas. I had a minivan then, and my back of my van was like full of bananas. Anyway, when you're dumpster diving, you need your hands. It's hard to hold a flashlight if you're doing it at night and get stuff out of the dumpster with one hand. So those little headlamps come in very handy. But they come in handy for lots of other things too. So they're really good things to have. And I bought a set of 2 of them on Amazon, and I don't remember what it cost, but it was cheap. And the ones I got also they have a white light, but they also have a red light. And the red light is good at night because the red light, you know, if you have like a bright white light, or even if it's not that bright, then when you turn the light off, your eyes don't adjust well to the dark. Well, the red light, your eyes can adjust from that to the dark a lot better. So that can come in handy. And then one other thing I have, and I did a whole video on this, and I'll see if I can find it and put the link in the description. This is actually a weather radio, but it also has a flashlight. So there's a button on here, the top. Here's the flashlight. There's a button on the top that turns on the light. It's pretty bright. It's a radio, but it also has a USB port. You can charge your phone. And the really awesome thing about it is it runs on batteries, but you can also charge it. It's got a solar panel on top, so you can charge it by setting it in the sun. And it's got a crank. So if your battery is dead, you can turn the crank and charge it. I don't know how long you got to crank it to charge it, but this was like maybe $25. It was incredibly cheap, and it's like one of the neatest things I've just ever seen. It's an AM FM radio, plus it's got like the weather band. And, you know, you'll always be able to use it. You can charge it a million ways. It's got a little light too. It's really cool. Anyway, so I'd like to encourage you to make sure you've got light sources. Now, of course, you can also use candles. And I like candles. I used to like candles a lot better than flashlights because it seemed like more natural and whatever, and you didn't have to have batteries. But you've got to look at what's best for you for a certain situation. Whiskers, don't you walk on that keyboard. So now I've got Sassy, who gets into everything. I like to burn candles, but I would not leave her unattended around a candle for a minute. I mean, if I have a candle burning in my living room and I need to go to the bathroom, the candle either has to come with me or I have to put it out. I would not let, or I have to bring Sassy to the bathroom and lock her in with me. But I would not leave her alone in a room with a candle, seriously, for 60 seconds. She'd burn my house down. So if you have pets or children, now like Isaac won't bother a candle, Whiskers won't. Well, I wouldn't trust her for very long, but I'd trust her long enough to go to the bathroom. Anyway, if you have pets or children, candles may not be a good light source for you. Also, and I do have candles because they're good for things, but you know, like I live in an area where there's a lot of tornadoes. So if there's a tornado, if the power goes out because there's a big storm and there might be a tornado, candles may not be the best light source because, you know, if the tornado hits and the windows blow in or whatever, you don't want to fire along with the tornado. Or if you need to move, you know, if I'm in my apartment and I need to go downstairs because a tornado is heading for where I live, I don't want to pick up a candle and move it. If you've tried to carry a candle around, it may blow out, especially if you have to go outside. Like if you got to go outside to an outhouse or to use the bathroom or for whatever, you try and carry a candle and it's likely to blow out. Now you can have kerosene lanterns. You can have, there are, you know, lots of different light sources. So let me know what you like. But I think a couple of good flashlights are always a good option, no matter what else you have. And if you have candles, you need to have waterproof matches, and I've got those too. So I mean, I do have candles. I didn't have any here to show you because you all know what candles look like, but Make sure you have good steady candle holders. So I'll do another video where we'll talk about other, things besides light that you're going to be without if you don't have power and how to deal with that. But let me know what kind of things you prepare for in case the power goes out. If you live somewhere, really you could lose power for an extended period of time no matter where you live. When I lived in Ohio, the power didn't go out at my house, but my partner's parents, who lived like 15 minutes away from us, their power was out for several days after a big snowstorm. So, whether it's hurricanes or tornadoes or snowstorms, blizzards, whatever, or just a blackout because the grid gets overloaded, pretty much anywhere in the country you can deal with the loss of power. So let me know in the comments what your tips are for dealing when the power goes out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you hit the little bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I post a video. And I hope everyone's staying safe. If you're in an area where you don't have power, I hope it's back on soon.